Uromi forest is alive when the moon is red and full. No one should go into Uromi forest at this time. There live a girl called Ito with her sick mother Odono. They live in the village of usually very close to the forest of Uromi. She always go into the forest of Uromi to get herbs for her sick mother. Ito went out and returned late only to find out that there is no herbs to give her mother that night. Ito in a trembling voice said, "Tonight is the full moon. The moon will be red, but I need to get herbs for my mother." Ito summoned some courage. "I will quickly go into Uromi forest to get herb for my mother." The villager tried to stop her, but she insisted on going. As she walked into the forest, smoke begins to rise from the ground, strange sound roar, a shadow began to haunt her. Uromi forest closed her path, she couldn't see her path. Strange evil spirits begin to awoke from their shrine. The air thickened instantly, heavy with the scent of damp earth and something acrid, like burnt sugar. Ito's heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the deep, resonant roar that shook the very roots beneath her feet. She could no longer see the familiar path. The trees had shifted, their branches woven together like a cage, and the smoke rising from the ground was now an oily, black mist swallowing the already dim light. She looked up. High above the forest canopy, the moon had fully revealed itself, blood red and enormous, bathing the choking gloom in a terrifying crimson hue. The shadow haunting her was no longer a single entity. It was an undulating mass that detached itself from the trunks of the ancient Iroko trees, taking on grotesque, temporary shapes, a giant with antlers, a crawling thing with too many limbs. From deep within the tangled roots, the strange evil spirits awoke from their hidden shrines. They were the forgotten spirits of greed and ancient malice, and their voices were sharp, high whistles that cut through the roaring wind. Ito felt a paralyzing cold grip her, but the thought of her mother, frail and fading without her medicine, was a hotter, stronger force than the cold of fear. She remembered the specific leaf her mother needed, the adagba leaf, which only grew deep near the heart of Uromi. Clutching the small, empty woven basket tighter, Ito stopped running. She closed her eyes, not in surrender, but to focus. She couldn't fight the spirits or the forest, but she could use the one thing her mother had taught her, respect and focus. "Uromi," Ito cried out, her voice trembling but clear, addressing the ancient forest spirit itself. "I am Ito, daughter of Ujeli. I come not for greed, not for sport, but for the life of my mother. She respects the earth and teaches us to honor your silence. I beg you, guardian of the red moon, show me the path to the adagba leaf, and I will live without touching anything else." As she spoke the sacred name of the herb, a momentary ripple passed through the oppressive atmosphere. The roaring quieted to a low, sustained hum. The amorphous shadows hesitated. For a moment, the forest considered her plea. Then, slowly, hesitantly, the oily smoke parted directly in front of her. It did not clear entirely, but formed a narrow, shimmering tunnel bed in the crimson moonlight. Ito saw it, a small, dark path leading deeper, and at the end, a faint glimmer of the distinctive, large, heart-shaped green leaves of the adagba. Knowing she had been given a chance, Ito ran, not looking left or right, her mind fixed only on the plant. She reached the patch, plucked the exact amount she needed, and tucked the precious leaves carefully into her basket. As she turned to leave, the path snapped shut. The shadows launched forward, and the shrill whispers of the spirits intensified, angry that she had been allowed to succeed. Just as she thought she was trapped forever, she felt a powerful push from behind, a force of pure wind that slammed her forward. She stumbled, fell, and tumbled out of the darkness and the chilling red glow, crashing onto the soft, familiar dirt just at the very edge of the forest line. Behind her, the invisible barrier of the Uromi forest sealed tight, the roaring sound returning, a final, deafening warning. Ito lay there, hyperventilating, the red moonlight fading as the moon slipped behind the clouds. She had the herbs. She was safe. She looked down at the earth where she had landed and saw a single, clear footprint left in the soft soil, not hers, but the clear, sharp impression of a small, feathered claw. She knew then that her mother's respect for the forest was what saved her. The guardian, or some ancient ally, had honored her plea. She raced back to Ujoli, clutching her basket, never again underestimating the terrible, sacred power of Uromi forest when the moon was red and full.